It's a beautiful new week. People, welcome on board as Spring Trends right here on Western Spring Television. It's Monday, and we're grateful to God for life. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, and what we do on the show is speak to issues trending basically on social media. What is trending, who is trending, and we get to take reactions. You know, I do not do this alone. Femi Ojo is right here. Good morning, Femi. Welcome on board.
Thank you very much. Good to be here. This week starting edition of
Amazing.
the program. I greet you.
All right, let's get right to it, shall we? And we're going to launch this very first video, story rather, with a video of what went down in Ondo State on Saturday. The state has a new elected governor, to take on the responsibility for the next 4 years, and that's the incumbent who is actually the governor of the state at this time, Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa. Let's watch this video of how vote buying and also other things were done in the state during the elections.
Your name, ma'am?
My name is Yemi Shaibu, women leader in Lagos.
Let's talk about this election. How has it been?
This election, after all, I like am as dem dey do this election today. No fight, no anything. Everybody vote. Nobody fight today. I like this election pass the one wey dem dey vote.
Before that, they always fight, but today, people like say something changed.
Today now, everything's okay. No fight, no anything.
We come here say, and say some people dey buy vote, say na like 10,000, 15, 20,000. How much some party dey sell am?
Today now, na 5,000 dem pay for this issue. All people na 5,000 naira. Nobody say boya na 10,000.
Blue or yellow party, or everybody.
Na 5,000 dem bring come today. Both party.
That, woman leader of a major party in Ondo State who said they were paid 5,000 naira each for their votes. And, that video was actually done by one of our correspondents who was live at Ondo State, at the weekend. Shout out to the guys who went there, our senior reporters, by the way, Lekon Akindoju and Joseph Atewe. And let's take reaction of the story. And bad governance at Owen Don Oil says pointers that Nigeria is very far from getting better. See how she's even looking. How is she looking, Don Oil? But then ACIT says at Ola_Rome says Lobata. And what's the English version translation for Lobata?
Stephanie.
Finished, I mean, like, okay, oh yeah. And Ray at Sheung Oba 007 says that's where your subsidy removal money was spent. APC intentionally injected hunger on the land so that they can buy votes as usual. By the way, it was not only the All Progressives Congress that bought votes. We also saw videos and also heard of other political parties who actually brought money to the polling units and, paid the people for their ballot. Ola Daniel Ogedengbe says, why can't they collect it and vote their conscience? And I think that's the question I'm going to ask Femi on the set this morning. Why can't they collect this money and still vote their conscience?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Person wey collect money still get conscience.
I don't know.
If you chop dodo, you might not be able to show dodo. That's the popular one around. But then it's a sad reality that is what has become of us. Your politicians, we're just talking off camera how politicians have mastered. There was a report, in fact, many reports from the dailies, how politicians are masterminding, perfecting their strategy on how to spend. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
It's, money. How much is money? It's the battle of the spenders, the big spenders. And maybe those ones that doesn't have the money or they can't, or the people that have conscience that voted for them, they are the ones having 2,140, 1,140, 4,000 something. I'm not insinuating anything, but the jury is out. This is not about somebody. Everybody spend. So while you are spending 5,000, some persons are spending 10,000 and all of those things. And you can even see the voter apathy there. And maybe the few people that were able to come out are the ones that were promised or drawn out with the fact that, okay, we won't go and the sun will not beat us only. We have something to fall back with. Politicians will call it welfare. They will call it something for the water. But you know it's vote buying, which is illegal by our laws. That's not the way it is done. But then that is what, sadly, the electioneering process has been reduced to.
Okay.
And it's what we are seeing. If you can pay, maybe that's why we are having less of violence. You don't have to shoot, you don't have to kill anybody when actually you can pay them. And there are willing sellers. The economy has thrown many persons into the kind of situation that will make them, that will make it hard
for any crimes they are willing to sell their birthright.
It's sure for you. 5K. If I cast them and no collect, these people will do what they want to do. So why no kuku cast them and kuku collect money? And these are the way it is done.
All right, and this
is a sad reality, but
it
happen.
It is. It's
and politicians will lift hands and say, "Oh, the glory must be to the Lord." And some of them will say, "Alhamdulillah."
They are humans and they have, right to their own beliefs.
After they have done what they've did.
I mean, God, I don't think God will cast them away. He's a loving Father.
Now, you be secretary to God.
By the way, these are the same people that collect money and sell their votes, are the same ones that will talk ill of Brother Esau. How dare you?
Say because of food, I mean?
Yes.
Say so, go sell in birthright.
Do you know how rich that pottage was? Do you know?
By the way, without you, watering down that situation of the Bible, the thing is, in the next 1 month, 6 months, 4 months, 1 year from now, the same people will be saying, now I see our road. The same people will say, no doctors in the hospital.
Yeah.
You complain about your children not having teachers.
Yeah.
You don't collect money.
You already sold that up.
You collect money.
Let's move on to the next story this morning. And of course, that's the story of our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, conferring the national honor of the Grand Commander of the Order of Niger, GCON, on the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who visited Nigeria recently. And of course, both leaders were able to talk on some bilateral ties and, how Nigeria and India can do business together going forward, how we can continue to enrich our relationship, strengthen our ties. Let's see how people reacted to this story, to this development. And the president actually stated that the honor was to signify the country's appreciation of India as Nigeria's partner. And Otumba of Lagos says, why am I here thinking that this Nigerian government are trying to borrow money from India? That wicked laugh emoji, wicked laugh emojis there. And RX Rukaya Bauchi says, GCON, isn't that reserved for only President and VP of Nigeria? No, the President actually gets GCFR, the VP gets GCON. Mohib Sika says, while the President and Vice President fly out of the country for summits every time, in return they host others to confer them GCON for personal interest. Nigeria, we hail thee. And Mansur Umar Abub 1 says, but why? This is the second highest title in the country. Femi, what do you think? By the way, there are people that believe that some of our citizens also get honored in other countries. They are given, titles. It might not be, in the US, in the UK, there are, people that, get such honors and awards, national awards in different countries. But it seems we have an issue with it, or people have an issue with it, because it's coming from Mr. President, and Mr. President at this time might be unpopular, especially with the common man, and anything and everything he does is questioned. And also, number two is the ties. People want to know what has exchanged and what is it we are doing with India.
What does that mean?
What is it we are doing with India? Yes. What is it?
Baba will collect Kobe to give award. Wait now.
So what do you think, by the way?
Well, let's start from you said Nigerians too are appreciated, awarded, knighted across the world. That is it. But when they are being knighted, when they stand, let's say for England, stand before the Queen or the King, to pay their obeisance, and then they are given that night thing, and then you do all of those things. They would read what you have done for them. They will give you something because you're a big businessman in Nigeria, and then you come to UK to come and be knighted. No. Yeah. When you are given a word, they will reel out your contribution, to that particular place, or to the people of that place, or to the people of that place where you are. There must be something you have done. The question that Nigerians are asking is, what has Narendra Modi done for Nigeria?
We're showing our appreciation.
For what?
In advance.
For what will he do? Maybe you know something that I don't. DSS,
I do not know anything.
You know how to do
I don't know anything.
But then these are the issues as well. It's not just about giving it to outsiders, because Narendra Modi show here in Nigeria. Okay. Oga, to show you, say we appreciate you. Bagans, you have been given the GCON. They better have a good explanation. Actually, they better have a good one. What is his contribution? Even if actually India, because we understand Narendra Modi's visit came with some hopes, and then we have bilateral talks and all of those things signed, memorandums here and there. Let those things be carried out, and then we can do what we are supposed to do. Nigerians are not averse to you giving it to anybody. Even here, when you give it to Nigerians, they will tell you the contributions, either in the neighborhood or philanthropic acts or research or, some of the things. We don't know how it was given. Give us an explanation. That's all. I think for me, that suffices. What has Narendra Modi done for Nigerians in India? Or what has he done to us as a nation, for us as a nation? And we are good. But if their explanation is not there,
all right, so let's move on to the next and final story this morning. And this is coming from, the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, speaking to the administration, speaking about the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying Nigeria under Emilokan. And of course, you remember that that particular word, Emilokan, used by our president now, Bola Tinubu, in Ogun State, when he was still going all about campaigning and trying to solicit support from different people. He used it as, this is my time to be president. And President Olusegun Obasanjo is saying the Nigeria under his time is sinking into chaos, insecurity, corruption. Let's see how people are taking this. Let's feel the pulse of Nigerians on the statement made by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who has labeled Nigeria a failing state, citing widespread corruption and leadership failures under President Bola Tinubu. At RMND22 says, former President Olusegun Obasanjo does not hold back, calling Nigeria a failing state under President Bola Tinubu, citing chaos, insecurity, and corruption. Tough words for tough times. And legend_Marvis says, so what's the way forward? I've been out until everybody sink. And that's the question legend_Marvis is asking. Big Danny says, very true, 100%. But Obasanjo had the chance to change the country. What did he do in his time? And Izu says, Obasanjo was not perfect, but at least it wasn't as clueless, lifeless, and oh God, that's big.
Maybe this one.
That's big. That's from Izu on X. I mean, those words are big. And it says, I hope T-Bag supporters are enjoying the Nigeria they wished for by choosing religion and ethnicity over competence. And Away says Obasanjo is right. Tinubu's policies have worsened corruption, insecurity, and hardship. Instead of progress, Nigeria is sinking deeper into chaos under its leadership. Your thoughts very quickly.
I think to start with, Obasanjo, when he was in government as well, wasn't infallible. His words were not infallible. That doesn't mean he doesn't have his flaws. He had his flaws. That is third-time agenda thing, say hanging on his head till tomorrow. Although he has denied it, many persons will say, you can't tell me that. Your father said it. Obasanjo cannot look me in the face and say he didn't try to come, to be president for the third time. And, one thing that he has been known for, by the way, is the fact that he speaks his mind. And even while he was in power, either for the good cause or for the bad cause, he stays and he goes for whatever he believes in. That's one thing. And by the way, with all his flaws, it's not just about, even while his own people, the PDP were in power, whatever he seems, these days he has not even been writing letters like that. He has been talking. And these are the issues as well. But what is Obasanjo saying that is not true? That's the question for the government handlers and their supporters as well. So we should show me one thing that he's saying
and focus on the message.
What is Obasanjo saying that is a lie? Let them show us.
All right, that's the question for people out there to answer, and that's the show for today. Thank you for being a part of our world. We'll make a return tomorrow for another interesting time on Spring Trend. Special thanks to Femi Ojo for always doing this with me every morning, and to you, our esteemed viewers, thank you for joining us. We'll make a return tomorrow. Like I said earlier, my name is Evelyn Ohiolei. Have yourself a good and productive Monday. Bye.